Hi, I'm Mike Regan with TranzAct's 2-Minute Warning for the week of September 16th. Some of you may not know this, but my first job out of school was working as an internal auditor for the Union Pacific Corporation. Now I know for some of you, when you hear the words internal auditor, you get that warm and fuzzy feeling because nothing makes you happier than to see your company's internal auditors in your department. No, I know that's not the case. In fact, I've heard it said that the definition of an internal auditor is somebody who walks around and stabs the wounded after a war is over. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I mentioned last week in our 2-minute warning that we're seeing some things that should concern all of us. But it really concerns me when I put on my auditor hat. And specifically, we're looking at how companies select their carriers. Now, in this 2-minute warning, we want to briefly talk about the impact that the looming capacity crisis may have on your ability to select carriers. Now, when I use the capacity crisis, some of you may be saying, well, Mike, I don't think it's a crisis yet. But what we are seeing is an increasing number of pockets, geographic pockets, where shippers are reporting it's getting more difficult to find carriers to move their loads. Now, what happens when you have a load that has to be at your customer's dock the next day, or if it's Friday afternoon, it's got to be off the dock and at your customer's on Monday morning? Well, if your core carriers can't handle it, there's a tendency to perhaps throw caution to the wind. And when we throw caution to the wind, we see that it becomes increasingly likely that we'll make a careless move. And when we make a careless move in selecting the carrier, bad things can happen. In fact, last week I got a call from a friend of mine who was reporting that one of his company's shipments involving hundreds of thousands of dollars got stolen. Now, I mention this because if you're interested in what you can do to strengthen your carrier selection process, here's some quick tips. First of all, ask yourself, do we have written procedures which document the processes we use to select our carriers? Putting on my audit hat, if I were to walk into your department, would I be able to get those written procedures? The second thing you need to do is to ask, do I have contracts with every carrier with whom I do business? And the third thing we need to do is, am I using some service like our Active Scout Shipper Shield program, which can help me monitor the carriers and get all the information I need, not just about their operating authority, CSA scores, but vital information about their insurance and financial information. Now, with each and every 2-minute warning, we're here to remind you, we are on your team and we're here to help. So if you have some comments or questions and want more information about how you can do a great job in selecting carriers, give us a call today.